intrigue me like that.
All right. Morning.
Everybody settled? All right, take some questions.
I want to kick this off. Dave Canales was mentioning your relationship with him and those facts of quality control in Seattle. What's been your perspective on the way he's progressing through the game?
You know, it's been awesome to watch. You know, had a lot of conversations with him when I even got this job. He's been ready for a while. It was great to see him get his opportunity last year with Tampa, and you knew if he just got an opportunity, he was going to take off, and he has.
What did you see from him in your time that is unique or makes him the right man?
You know, he's very confident in himself. He's very confident in his style. He's very confident, and he's very convicted in his beliefs. You know, he's not going to make things up. He's not going to try to be somebody he's not. And he's extremely smart. So because of it, I think he garners he gets a lot of respect for that.
Why is he so good with quarterbacks?
What's that?
Why is he so good with quarterbacks?
You know what? The way he relates to people is pretty cool, and you know, his ability to speak to people with empathy and make things simple all around him when he speaks and when he teaches. He's a fantastic teacher, and so. You know, his ability to relate, gain trust, and help those guys make plays and see the game a little bit quicker on Sunday. It's anytime you have those qualities as a football coach, you're going to get the results.
Robert, is anyone not going today, practice-wise?
We're not going to have Quinnen up today. He's dealing with he's got a sore shoulder, so didn't feel like it was necessary to get him rolling.
Is that a concern?
No, we're not concerned. If this was a game game week, we'd be rolling, but no concern.
How do you go about setting up the format for this practice? Like you said, obviously you guys got the relationship, but he's in year one of the program. You guys are in year four.
Yeah, we've been through a lot of these, so we were able to speak with their team, and a great job communicating on their end. You know, obviously we gave them some ideas of what we've done in the past, and obviously working through what works for them and where they're at with regard to their training camp schedule, and so we were able to come up with a pretty good schedule.
Robert, last year, how much better do you feel about your offensive line as you sit here today compared to when you left Spartan?
I'm looking forward to this one. You know, last year obviously wasn't the greatest of days. Not that I'm looking for our guys to come out here and throw hands or whatever, but it's more just an opportunity to see what we look, to see how different it is. You know, and because they pretty much have a very similar defense to what they had a year ago, and and it's a top 5 defense. So really looking forward to getting an opportunity to compete.
Will Tyron go?
He's going today, yes.
Full go?
Yeah.
You went through experience with Wilson as a rookie a few years ago. Panthers with Bryce this year. What's your philosophy? What do you think of the pluses and minuses of throwing a guy right into the fire versus letting him run behind the veteran?
There's a lot of pluses and minuses to any decision. You know, you got C.J. Stroud got thrown in there, and he's doing a heck of a job. And you know, the biggest key is, and from my understanding, they've done a pretty good job with it. If you can protect the quarterback and give him a chance to play. Personally, I think Bryce is going to be fine. He's going to be a really good quarterback in this league. Obviously, you're building a philosophy, a system around them, the players that fit the system, a philosophy, a style of play, and I think once this organization gets all that in, I think he's going to take off.
Robert, have you seen a different level of Garrett in camp?
And from regards to just overall playmaking ability and all that, yeah, he's always been an ultimate competitor. You know, but he's really been working on the fine details of his route running, getting to where the quarterback needs him to be, and understanding that sometimes you don't always have to just absolutely destroy your guy at the line of scrimmage. Sometimes it's just running a route as fast as you can and get into a spot as quickly as you can so the quarterback can deliver a ball. And he's starting to understand all of that, and because of it, I think he's realizing that his game is. He's so darn good and so twitchy and so fast that he doesn't have to do a lot to gain the separation that he needs to get open.
How much better has going up against Sauce Staley done that? We saw him in the Washington joint practice, and he went insane, probably uncoincidentally that was the first time he wasn't going up against Gardner.
Yeah, I think anytime, I mean, you hear it a lot, iron sharpens iron, right? But I know. But you know, we have a lot of faith in our defense, right? I think we've got a pretty damn good secondary. DJ, Michael Carter, I know he hasn't been practicing, but our safety group line, all the way across the board, I think we're pretty darn good. They're tacticians. They play with great technique and fundamentals, and they make it hard on everybody. And for a guy like Garrett to go against what I will argue is one of the top secondaries in all of football, I think it only makes everybody better, and it makes us better as from a defensive perspective, because we're not going to see a lot of guys like Garrett during the course of the season.
Carolina's got a good pair of guards. What do you think about the opportunity for some of your other guys with Quinn being down?
Yeah, it's obviously they've got a really good interior three, you know, and for Kinlaw to get out here and go against different bodies. Same thing with Lecky and Saleh and all the other guys. But it's a really good opportunity all the way across the board. And we'll give him a break. Malachi, what's been really good is we all know what he can do with the ball in his hands, and we've been able to kind of manufacture some situations where he does get it, and he's as advertised when that ball's in his hands. And so he's been growing. Still a long way to go with his route running and understanding the same thing that Garrett went through, just being where he needs to be as fast as he can get there, and just fine-tuning his routes, his stems, his leverage, understanding leverage and how to create separation. But love his mindset. I love the way he works. It's very, very important to him, and he's going to be a really good player.
You guys honored a returner in the first preseason game. Is that something he's done before? Like, I didn't see it in college.
Yeah, he's again a guy that we feel can be pretty damn good with the ball in his hands, and you know, the punt return part, we're trying to figure out the kickoff return part. I think he can do that pretty easily. Big body, fast, strong, physical, especially with this new kickoff rule. But we're trying to just find different ways to get him the ball, and if it works out, great. If not, we'll look for other ways.
These joint sessions can sometimes get a little spicy. Have you and Dave discussed what you would do in the event that something pops off?
You know what, Dave, I'm sure has his own set of rules. We have ours, and I'm not worried about it. Usually you're always going to get pushing and shoving. That's going to happen. Guys get competitive out here, and but the reality is that the fighting usually happens on the second day, when teams go in and they talk about whether they won or lost, and then they come out with a little bit of edge. And so that's why we're, at least speaking for us, New York, we've always been proponents of just doing it once.
Sauce mentioned there were some consequences that nobody wanted to see a week ago.
Same consequences today too.
Anything you can tell us that they are?
I'll save it for later. I'll make that decision tonight.
With all the we continue to see, like, is he going to be a right tackle for this game so he gets used to it?
We'll talk about it after today to see how we want to, depending on who plays and who doesn't during the game. We just want to give him an opportunity to play one position. I don't want him jumping around during the game. So.
Couple more. Building off that, the different coaches have different philosophies for when to play and who to play in preseason games. Generally, what's your approach to that?
You know, I talked about this a couple days ago. You know, back in the day when there was 3 or 4 preseason games, you played a quarter, then you played a second quarter, then you brought your guys out for the third quarter. That's not the case anymore. You know, and so now it's more a matter of really looking yourself in the mirror as a coaching staff, and are you just trying to check boxes to say, okay, I played my guys for a series, or is it actually going to help us perform at our best in week 1? And so just going through that evaluation process, like I said, we've got another inter-squad scrimmage next week versus the Giants. We're getting a lot of reps, a lot of real quality reps, and just looking at the overall body of work throughout training camp, whether or not our guys need that extra work, we'll make that decision when it comes to it.
Last one. The other day, how when it comes to games, you guys, all teams don't really show much nowadays. How do you balance like that competitive advantage standpoint and how much of your actual offense is showing these games?
Yeah, it's you're not going to show as much. Obviously, you don't want, because no matter how much the agreement comes into place with 2 organizations, someone's going to talk. So you're not showing all your wrinkles, but at the same time, like I've told our guys, this isn't about scheming guys to death. This is about executing against a different body than what you've been seeing since OTAs, and getting familiar, trusting your technique, trusting your fundamentals, running off the ball, playing with your hands and feet, and just competing against different bodies, which is the case of the NFL. So, yeah, you're not going to show as much, but you can still get a lot out of it because, again, you're just in an unfamiliar, uncomfortable situation than you've been throughout since OTAs.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you, guys.